I touched on another audio about the universal purpose and its own calendar, and I think I need to elaborate on that a little bit. I'm about to expose a huge lie that's being told to people for generations, so hold on for this. Being told that you should have accomplished certain things at certain ages in your life is a lie. You're like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about as far as career, as far as settling down. There might be some certain biological things into play, but I'm talking about career and your purpose in life. I'm not talking about biological situations like children, raising children or things like that. I'm talking about relationships, and I'm talking about your career path, your purpose. We're all put into a system where we're assumed that by the time we're 17 or 18 years old, okay, we go ahead, we finish high school, then we go immediately to college. We finish that between 22 and 26 years old, depending on whether we get a graduate degree. Then once we do that, we work into the private sector or public sector for a few years, or if then, and we go ahead and we get married. So by the time we're 40 years old, we have the house and we have the career and we have the car and we have the children, and that works out fine for some people as long as you are happy. That's the point. As long as you are happy. If this is your dream, if this is your vision to do this. But if you're being programmed with no input, no regards to your feelings, and it conflicts with how you feel deep inside and your vision for yourself, that's where we have problems, people. And that's why I call it a lie. It's the truth for some, but it's a lie for others. And to make things even more complicated, there's already that conflict of the fact that they don't know what to do with themselves when they're 30, 40 years old. To compound the situation, they have family members and friends that are around them that are making the situation even worse by bringing it up all of the time. It's not helping people. So then that person gets to a breaking point at some point, and they'd be like, screw it, I'm out of here. And sometimes they have to go someplace where nobody knows who the hell they are, and no relatives or anything, in order to find out who they are themselves, in order to love themselves and to be able to just breathe. Sometimes it's got to happen. And it's going to scare the living shit out of the people that you were associated with all these years. They're not going to understand. So the first thing they're going to say is that you lost your mind, you did this and did that, all these horrible things is wrong with you. She was on drugs, she lost her mind. Okay, that might be the case. They may have lost their mind and may have been on drugs. But maybe they need to get away from the situation to get themselves straightened out. Get away from the environment. Get away from all the bias and the pressure in order to figure it out. Get around some people who are feeling and thinking the same way they are, so they can be able to take the journey together, because they couldn't breathe where they were. Now, I know this sounds a little far-fetched, it sounds a little strange. We're family, we love them. Of course you do. There are a lot of people who love other people, they just don't understand them. Tell me I'm wrong. In every single family, there's that one person or two people that you love them, but you just don't understand where they're coming from. And you don't communicate much because you don't understand. And that's not cool. It boils down to acceptance. The reason why you don't communicate with them. Maybe if you sat down and actually, with an open mind and an open heart, just actually treated them like a human being and talked to them, maybe they can explain to you and you can learn to understand. But see, the thing is, you're indoctrinated. You're stuck in the program to think a certain way, and that anybody who does or thinks different, they're wrong. So you come to the table with preconceived notions of how you're going to receive this person. And they pick up that vibe. That's why you don't communicate. It all goes back to accepting what is different. The universal purpose has its own calendar, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Some people don't get the message until they're after 50, 60 years old. Do you not look at the news and see a lot of high-profile people didn't make it until they're 50, 60 years old? Some of the most successful people in our history didn't see their vision and struggle all their adult life. Went through substance abuse, physical abuse, mental illness, the whole 9 yards, homelessness, and everything else. And they didn't come into their universal purpose until they were 50, 60, 70, sometimes 80 years old. Tell me I'm lying. And you sit there and you stand up and you clap for them. Ready to go buy their books and ready to listen to their podcasts and listen to their shows every single morning. You praise them. But you have that one person in the family that's maybe just 30 years old, and you're all over their case as to why they can't keep still. The universal purpose hasn't been found yet. See, sometimes a universal purpose involves someone that has to be strong. They have to be able to go different places, do different things, be able to adapt, and be able to communicate with people from different backgrounds and different walks of life and different traditions. And in order for that to happen, that shit takes a whole lot of time, money, and resources. Sometimes a universal purpose requires a person who is versatile and has the ability to be able to communicate with people from everywhere. You can't do that if you've only been on the block all your life. Your universal purpose might require a whole lot of money. You could be a humanitarian where you're giving to a certain cause. You could establish a foundation or set up some type of medical research center. That requires a lot of money, and you probably had to work 2-3 jobs for 20, 30 years and invest in order to get that money to fulfill your universal purpose. Ain't nobody 20 years old is going to have the kind of money to open up a hospital unless it's a gift. It's rare. But I'm talking about the average person here. Because once that purpose is given to you, you are on a mission. The clock doesn't stop ticking once this thing gets going. And you got to be able to have the backbone to handle it. Not only that, you got to be able to have the right people around you there to support you in the times that you are tired. Someone who could take the reins, someone you could delegate some of your duties to. Because in most cases, a universal purpose is not a one-man show. It's not a one-woman show. So you're going to have to come across some people that you're going to have to trust to help you fulfill that vision and that purpose. A lot of these things take time, people. So the next time you see someone kind of stumbling through, encourage them. And if you don't understand, tell them. Say, look, I don't fully understand what you're doing, but deep down you must have we all have a purpose. And I understand that you're going to find your purpose. So in the meantime, I'm going to be your shoulder to crown. I'm going to carry you emotionally. I might not have any financial resources or anything, but I got your back. That's what they need. Don't let your pride and your indifference and your programming interfere with a possibly long-standing, fruitful relationship. And that's what a lot of you are doing right now because you don't understand something. You're throwing away the possibility of having someone that's going to be with you for the rest of your life no matter what. And we all know that shit is hard to find. So with that being said, I got to get out of here. You have a great day.